This is the centre of Melbourne late Saturday morning.
We're not going to let these right-wing, far-right extremists silence us.
This protest on the steps of Flinders Street Station is a response to the violent attack 2 weeks ago on an Indigenous cultural site known as Camp Sovereignty, allegedly by a far-right group led by a known neo-Nazi. To date, 10 men have been charged by Victoria Police.
I'm never going to allow that again, ever.
We have a demonstration to stand in solidarity with Camp Sovereignty, and then also I'm part of a group that's organising a march to politically counter the far-right demonstration that's taking place at Parliament House today.
Across town, nationalism and the Australian flag was on full display.
So there's a situation where mass immigration is really starting to impact us economically, culturally, in all kinds of ways. And people are starting to respond to that.
If they don't think that that's going to put pressure on doctors, dentists, housing, road infrastructure, kindies for the little, all that sort of stuff, then they've got rocks in their head.
We don't need to have lockdown.
Two groups, Save Australia and Australia Unites Against Government Corruption, came together at the steps of the Parliament where a broad spectrum of grievances were aired.
People have got different reasons for being here, but ultimately it's about the government. It's about corruption. It's about the way we're heading, which is into a very dire economic situation.
We also need justice for Desi. Desi Freeman was a good man.
One vaccine has caused the death of young people who go to bed the night they've had the injection and they don't wake up the next morning.
So this is a start, and we are going to continually hold rallies fortnightly. It will turn to weekly, and eventually we will be doing them during the week when Parliament is sitting.
There's a lot of division. There's thousands of people down that way calling us all Nazis and, that type of rhetoric, when quite clearly, we're not. That's certainly not myself.
The police presence here on Spring Street is immense. The mounted unit, the public order response unit is here. There are literally hundreds of police officers that are trying to prevent the violent scenes that were seen in the CBD just 2 weeks ago.
We've never asked for the police to come here. That wasn't a request that anybody made. The police have chosen to come here.
But when they see violent scenes that they saw 2 weeks ago, they're very necessary to be here to keep the peace, aren't they?
Well, maybe it's the cost of democracy.
There's a big cost to Victoria Police to staff this. Do you think it's worth the cost?
I'm going to say no. I've been in the car a long time and I just want to get home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about the protest being in the city?
I think it's just inconvenience to everyone.
There is an ongoing conversation in Victoria about the impact regular protests are having on Melbourne CBD, like the weekly pro-Palestine rallies, which mark their 100th protest this weekend.
One or two, it's fine, but this is just going on, and every weekend. You can tell by the crowds, there are not crowds in town anymore, and I wonder if this is what's putting them off coming in.
What do you want to say to the protesters?
Go away. Let us in. Just, go somewhere else and do it.
What do you say to people who feel that they're shut out of the city?
Well, I think that it's really important that in a public space like the CBD, there's the possibility for people to politically express themselves.
There are some things that are more important to talk about and prioritise than business for a couple of hours once a weekend.
Caught in the middle, families arriving to a performance of Annie at the Princess Theatre.
It's an absolute disgrace, frankly.
Jason Mariner runs the Princess Theatre.
Imagine bringing your children to the theatre on a day like today. It's scary. This is not what Melbourne's about. It's understandable that people have an opinion and have a right to voice an opinion, but to bring the city to a standstill like has happened today is just absolutely deplorable.
Jason Mariner says the protests are hurting the city and need to be managed better.
If this is Melbourne, we don't have much of a future, do we? And something needs to be done with urgency, because every cause cannot bring the city to a standstill each weekend.